greenhouse backyard. Oodles of hands-on arts and culture, STEM, health and nature-themed exhibits await your family. The Giant Purple Museum is open every day, Wednesday through Sunday. Reservations are required at cdm.org. That's cdm.org. जब हमारे परिवार के बुजुर्गों की सेहत और देखभाल की बात होती है तो घर पर इन होम केयर वाला ऑप्शन सबसे बढ़िया है। अनलॉक का पेस प्रोग्राम एक ऐसा कन्वीनियंट एंड पर्सनलाइज्ड ऑप्शन है जिसके जरिए हमारे बुजुर्ग घर पर हमारे साथ रहकर यही देखभाल और सेवा का लाभ उठा सकते हैं। अब चाहे वो घर पर रहे या अनलॉक वाले पेस सेंटर में आए, उनको वही डेडिकेटेड एंड प्रोफेशनल केयर मिलेगी। अनलॉक ने बुजुर्गों की सेहत को अपना प्रायोरिटी बना लिया है। और जानने के लिए 1855-308-0195 पे कॉल करें। That's 1855-308-0195.
Top of the morning, Bay, with Good Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's
Good Morning Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वरकम,
नमस्कार,
खुशामदीद,
सलाम अलैकुम,
सत श्री अकाल,
की वंदनम,
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण,
जय जिनेंद्र।
हमारे इस्लामी भाई बहनों को बोलते हैं याली मदद,
मोलाली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीजी मतलब बोलेंगे नीसा मुला बरजन। हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा। मैं सिर्फ फालतू बाबा
and of course myself Faltu Rani लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time show that's gonna make it totally exciting and totally fun, informational, totally मस्तानी बन जानी।
Alright, Bajan, today is Good Morning Bay. So we're going to share with you guys what's happening on the road, the news, locally, internationally, also Bajan, and also nationally. I've covered already. If I didn't cover, sorry, Bajan. Local, national, international, and sometimes intergalactic as well, Bajan. Yes, we have talked about the Mangalyaan. We talked about all those things, right? Yes, we share everything, right? Universe का पूरा news आपको यहीं पे मिलेगा आप लोगों को. Just stay tuned, and we definitely here to serve you guys much better, Bajan. But right now, a quick look at what's happening on the roads. रास्ते का हाल जो हम लोग आपको देते हैं total sustenance.
It's time for the Bandu traffic update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Well, but that's a Friday. मतलब Friday है तो मतलब obviously people are relaxed because we can only see some of you actually are working from home because you're given the options, right? Some of the corporates have given them option to work certain days from home, certain days from the office location. So hence the roads are actually looking kind of smooth. 880 as usual, it's the cleanest freeway because it sucks big time. That's a different thing. But लेकिन 280 पे जाए तो of course you watch out for that because sequence में there are a couple of incidents happening on 280 north side, northbound, north of Golf Coast Drive. There actually is a disabled vehicle reported there. Very close to that, very close disabled vehicle. The accident has been reported on 280, same near the Golf Coast Drive. And now again, this does not end there. Further down, you will have one more traffic hazard reported on northbound 280, south of Truesdale Boulevard. Watch out for these things, Branjan. Ye hilly area hai, it's like an inclined kind of a thing. So if you're going towards San Francisco, you might probably not see this because it might be in exactly coming down from the trough or the crest actually. So watch out for these notifications. Apart from that, I don't see any other incident in the area which we cover generally, Branjan, is the entire Bay Area. So it's smooth sailing all the way. Weather-wise, if you look at it, it's going to be a hot day. It's going to be hot as it was yesterday. But actually, it'll just be 3 degrees cooler. But after I listened to what Gavin Newsom talked about, right, I really feel like, oh my God, what are we doing? Is this actually related to all the stuff and how it seems like a very bleak thing. Gavin Newsom, the moment he got re-elected, I think he's got this courage to actually go on and talk about all the bleak things in life.
What did he do?
Because he talked about the fact that we are going to be giving our next generation a hotter world.
Yeah.
Almost 8 to 10 degrees hotter, Baljan. My goodness. Just imagine our summers are going to be unbearable. In 90 पे हम लोग पसीना छूटता हमारा fall में भी. It'll become 100. Well, look, it doesn't matter, Baljan, because we can always go and take a dip in our Pacific Ocean. It's going to be nice and cool there.
Yeah.
High time we move towards the ocean.
Towards the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing is holding us back, Banjan, right now because we have
Where
broken
else, Baba?
free from radio. We're broken free from all these things, Banjan. We actually are available for you guys to listen to anywhere, anyhow, and on real time. Yes, Banjan, real time. aa gaya hai. You actually can watch our videos also. If at all you have an Android phone, please give us a couple of more days to deal with what's happening in the Apple. I think Apple don't have their act together, Fatwani.
They don't, Alto
They
Baba.
don't have the app together, but we have the app actually together. But they don't have the acts together.
Yeah.
So if you want to get more about that, budget, yeah, if you actually work in app and wondering what is talking about, give me a call. I'll tell you exactly what. And if you can help me out, that'll be wonderful. We always rely on our bandhu's help for everything, right?
Yeah.
So yes, there is your traffic update and your weather update. But right now, Faltwani, are you ready?
Yes, Alto Baba.
All right, Banjan, I hope you are because Faltwani is going to be sharing with you what's happening with the news locally and nationally as well. Take it away, Faltwani.
Well, Banjan, for those of you who like Matthew McConaughey,
What?
Yeah.
What happened to him? Is he okay?
nothing. He is measuring a Texas gubernatorial run.
Huh?
Yes. I really wish he comes to power.
Well,
dude.
he
Seriously.
is because he's a liberal. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, no, because I like Matthew McConaughey. Alto
Well,
Baba.
he actually. Did you know one thing about Matthew McConaughey?
Huh.
He thinks something like me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is he a
Yes.
November bomb by any chance?
I have no idea.
Have you heard his motivational speaks or speeches? rather?
I've heard a couple of his speeches.
Pretty interesting. He has that kind of a wise man look.
Yeah, and the way
All
he
right,
talks,
all
he's
right,
got
all
that
right.
Texan drawl, he's got the southern drawl.
Yeah, but he
and
seems to be.
It's just very, very.
You know what? He seems to be a person like me because he doesn't even use deodorants.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
But anyway, Texas requires somebody who actually can have a voice to people who are being subdued there. And Banjan, you have been listening to the news, you would know what all's happening out there in Texas. Yes, my heart goes out to all the brothers out there, including brothers who actually are come all the way from Haiti, trying to find some refuge, but now have been sent back. And nothing to do with the main office. I think the local office is what's doing all this stuff actually.
And it's also
Take it away.
this, right? It's also the remember the most controversial abortion bill that got passed in Texas. Well, to counter that, the United States House of Representatives approved legislation today to protect abortion services against growing Republican-backed state restrictions, including a Texas law that imposes a near-total ban on abortion, but it is unlikely to pass the Senate. The Democratic-controlled House voted 218 to 211, largely along party lines, to pass the legislation called a Women's Health Protection Act. Just one Democrat voted against this particular proposal. The bill would protect abortion services and preempt many of the restrictions that Republicans have passed at state level, such as those that require ultrasounds or other tests. Trump-backed Arizona election review affirms, and now, after 2 years almost, reaffirms Biden's win. Texas launches an audit. Donald Trump lost the 2020 presidential election to Joe Biden in Arizona's most populous county. A review of results by Trump's Republican Party has affirmed, according to a draft report of the findings seen by Reuters on Friday. The report, prompted by Trump's false claims of widespread electoral fraud, found that Biden, a Democrat, won Maricopa County despite Trump's claims otherwise. The analysis recorded 99 additional votes for Biden and 261 fewer votes for Trump. Having won Arizona and beaten Trump nationwide, Biden became president on Jan 20th, but Trump's baseless claims continue to persist. However, on Thursday in Texas, the Secretary of State's office said that the state had begun an audit of the presidential election in its 4 largest counties, Dallas, Harris, Tarrant, and Collin. Although Trump carried the state, Biden won 3 of those counties that are currently under review. The former Minneapolis police officer in the George Floyd case, who was convicted for and given a sentence for the murder of George Floyd, argued that the judge in his case abused his discretion and made multiple errors during the trial, and is seeking to go and get an appeal done. Chauvin, a white man convicted of killing George Floyd by kneeling on the black man's neck during a 2020 arrest, has no money to hire an attorney and is representing himself, according to court documents filed late on Thursday. In his appeal, Chauvin plans to raise 14 separate issues, including Judge Peter Cahill's decision to deny Chauvin's request to move the trial out of Hennepin County, which includes Minneapolis, because of the intense pre-trial publicity. In some media news, Banjan, a former ABC News executive accused CNN anchor Chris Cuomo of sexually harassing her, describing in an essay published on Friday in the New York Times how he grabbed her behind at a colleague's farewell party in 2005. Shelley Ross had been Cuomo's boss when he worked at ABC, a role she just left when Cuomo embraced her at the party in New York City, according to the essay. "I can do this now that you're no longer my boss," Ross quotes Cuomo as telling her after he gripped her in a bear hug and moved one hand to firmly grab and squeeze the cheek of my buttocks. She wrote that she pushed him away, and Cuomo then noticed that her husband was right behind her watching. Earlier this year, Cuomo was forced to apologize to CNN viewers for giving advice to the staff of his brother Andrew Cuomo, who at the time was facing calls to resign as governor of New York after multiple women accused the powerful politician of sexual harassment. Cuomo said it was inappropriate for him to advise on the scandal while working as a journalist. President Biden says there will be consequences over Haiti migrant treatment. U.S. President Joe Biden on Friday said that there will be repercussions for U.S. Border Patrol agents over their harsh treatment of Haitian immigrants at the southern U.S. border, calling it an embarrassment to the nation. Still, Biden added that he ultimately bears responsibility for the situation at the Texas border with Mexico amid an influx of thousands of Haitians that has drawn international attention after viral photos showing agents on horseback using reins against migrants. "Of course I take responsibility. I'm the president," he told reporters at the White House. "I promise you those people will pay," he added, of the agents, and he said it's simply not who we are.
Oh, on horseback side.
Yeah. No. In the meanwhile, Banajan, let us also tell you that locally in the Bay Area, air quality advisory has been issued for today as more wildfire smoke has drifted into the Bay Area. Smoke from fires in Southern and Central California is expected to reach the Bay Area, causing hazy skies but not necessarily unhealthy air. The pollution level likely won't exceed federal standards that typically prompts a spare the air alert, Air District said. If they smell of smoke, Bay Area residents should avoid exposure, officials said. Stay inside with the windows and doors shut if temperatures allow. Also set air conditioning units and car vent systems to recirculate is what they're suggesting.
Only if you get the smell of smoke, or you do that as a habit, as a, what do you call it, a good practice?
Only during this time when there's an air quality advisory.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, you remember that Millennium Tower that's been tilting and tilting and tilting? Well, the designer of the trouble fix for the sinking and tilting Millennium Tower briefed recently city officials about an especially unpleasant potential byproduct of the building settlement. Sewer backups is what they're saying. Sewer lines must slope to enable efficient flow of material, Ron Hamburger said in an email to city officials in late August. He identified at-risk drains that currently slope south and east, going against the current northwest tilt, saying those lines will experience decreased slope and the backup might happen and become a problem. So this was one of the issues with that Millennium Tower, Altubaba. And of course, California is now considering a COVID-19 vaccine mandate for students 12 and older. California Public Schools is now considering this particular mandate if the students want to attend school in person. California Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Mark Galley said the state is considering this requirement during a Thursday morning media briefing. And finally, in other news, a $20,000 reward is being awarded or announced in case of a serial slingshot shooter who has been shooting along Highway 87 in San Jose.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, someone firing ball bearings at San Jose buildings, likely using a slingshot, has caused more than $500,000 in damage, and the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office is offering a $20,000 reward for an arrest and conviction, according to a release issued on Thursday. No injuries have been reported thus far, but residences and businesses along the Highway 87 corridor have reported shattered windows and some structural damage. The District Attorney's Crime Lab has been struck about 8 times, DA's office has said. That was news from across the United States and locally here in the Bay Area.
All right, Benjan, right now, quick look at the Gane Akira, and probably if you have some more time, we probably will share the news with you guys from around the world. So here you go, there's the Gane Akira lined up for you guys. Enjoy. The voice of the wonderful Mukesh Saab, picturized in Raj Kapoor, fun with Dharam Karam.
एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी के मोल, जग में रह जाएंगे प्यारे तेरे बोल। एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी के मोल, जग में रह जाएंगे प्यारे तेरे बोल। तुझे के होठों को देकर अपने गीत, कोई निशानी छोड़ फिर दुनिया से डोल। एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी के मोल, जग में रह जाएंगे प्यारे तेरे बोल। ला 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 ला।
Alright, but just time for us to go and check out what's happening around the world. Fadwani, are we ready for the world news?
Yes, Altu Baba, I am absolutely ready. Well, China's most powerful regulators on Friday intensified the country's crackdown on cryptocurrencies with a blanket ban on all crypto transactions and mining, hitting Bitcoin and other major coins and pressuring crypto and blockchain related stocks. 10 agencies, including the central bank, financial securities, and foreign exchange regulators, vowed to work together to root out illegal cryptocurrency activity. The first time the Beijing-based agencies have joined forces to explicitly ban all cryptocurrency-related activity. World's youth are taking to the streets again to battle climate change. Young people around the world took to the streets today to demand urgent action to avert disastrous climate change in their largest protest since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. The strike takes place 5 weeks before the UN COP26 summit, which aims to secure more ambitious climate action from world leaders to drastically cut the greenhouse gas emissions heating up the planet. German millionaires are rushing assets to Switzerland ahead of their election. They are a potential lurch to the left in Germany's election on Sunday is scaring millionaires into moving assets into Switzerland, bankers and tax lawyers are saying. If the center-left Social Democrats, which is the SPD party, hard-left Linke and environmentalist Greens come to power, the reintroduction of something called a wealth tax and a tightening of inheritance tax could be on the political agenda. For the super rich, this is red hot, said a German-based tax lawyer with extensive Swiss operations. Entrepreneurial families are highly alarmed at this point. The move shows how many rich people still see Switzerland as an attractive place to park wealth, despite its efforts to abolish its image as a billionaire safe haven. China has drawn up a list of 100 instances where the US has interfered in Hong Kong.
Wow.
Yeah.
The US 100.
Yeah, including Joe Biden's support for a pro-democracy newspaper. Yeah, US politicians and officials have denounced China over its tightening control of the former British colony of Hong Kong, especially the imposition of a sweeping national security law last year cracking down on dissent. The United States must not tolerate any force that is anti-China and stirs troubles in Hong Kong, or else it'll be only lifting a stone to hit one's foot. The Chinese
अपने पैर पे खुद खुलाड़ी बांध. That also they borrowed from Indian thing. My goodness.
The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian told a regular press briefing on Friday.
Well, actually, there's a lot of wisdom in those sayings, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly what even China is doing. अपने पैर पे खुद खुलाड़ी मार रहे हैं.
Right.
Yeah.
The ministry posted a list on its website which detailed instances of US interference since 2019, including the signing of the Hong Kong Autonomy Act in 2020 by then President Donald Trump.
What? Trump also in trouble? I thought Xi was his best friend, right?
No, at that point, remember, he took on China. He was like, blah, 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 blah.
But later on realized how he can live like a tyrant, right?
Yeah. Well, let's tell you, Banjan, speaking of tyrants and how to deal with tyrants, Quad leaders to meet at the White House today amid shared China concerns. Leaders of the United States, Japan, India and Australia sharing concerns about China's growing power and behavior meet in person as a group for the first time on Friday for a summit expected to bring progress on COVID-19 vaccines, infrastructure and technological cooperation.
It's interesting how they actually ignored the European countries, right?
Yeah.
See that? Isn't that bad?
Well, this is supposed to be the Quad, that side, right? The Atlantic, that side. I think that's what it is.
The other side, Russia is not there. So why didn't they invite Russia? Why Putin was not there?
This is the Quad. The meeting of the Quad as a grouping of the 4 major democracies in the world.
I know why they didn't invite.
Democracies in the world.
Wait, I know why they didn't invite. Hey, Putin also is a for democracy, okay? He always says, I'm for democracy. FAUX. He just spells it differently.
That's true.
Well, Padri, the point is, had they invited Putin to the thing, it would have become a Pentagon. They don't want to do that. It'll be a clash on American Pentagon system. So it'll be like a. So that's why they made it as only 4, probably. But good thing they have Modi there, so it's nice.
Yeah, and what happened with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Joe Biden? Let's just talk a little bit about that.
What happened? My goodness, they tweet each other's posts, no?
Well, here's what happened. They held their first bilateral meeting, and in this particular meeting, during the interaction, the two leaders are actually they're meeting today. They've not completed their meeting yet. They're expected to discuss a wide range of priority issues, including combating COVID-19, climate change, economic cooperation, as well as Afghanistan. While the two leaders have met earlier when Biden was the vice president of the country, this is for the first time they're meeting. He's meeting Modi after he became the 46th president of the United States of America.
And Biden supposedly opened his statement saying, "Oh, you said up ki baar Trump's our car."
He said that? No, you're just making it up. This morning, I'm hosting Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the White House for a bilateral meeting. I look forward to strengthening, deepening deep ties between our two nations, working to uphold a free and open Indo-Pacific and tackling everything from COVID-19 to climate change.
And the
is
best
what
part
Biden tweeted.
Yeah. Did he also talk about why he talking to him first?
Why?
It's a lot cheaper because this is time when Modi is actually fasting, so no need of actually making food for him.
Okay, let's tell you what are the key facets of the India-US ties. Okay.
Dhokla and Fafda?
Alto Baba.
Okay, fine.
Defense. India shares an extensive defense partnership with the US, which can be encapsulated under 2 broad categories: bilateral military pacts and strategic cooperation. So that's one of the things that they worked on. And then the next one that they talked about was in terms of trade. No.
Oh, they already had break lines.
They've come to a pact. So basically, India is looking to transform its defense technology and trade initiative with the US into a buyer-seller relationship that will involve co-development and production of advanced weapon systems, apparently. So they have signed a pact, actually. It's called the GSOMIA of 2002. There was a pact that was signed. And then now they have signed something called the Communications Compatibility and Security Arrangement. That was signed in 2018. So they've renewed all these pacts. And in terms of trade, while India and US have nurtured strong military ties over the years, their trade relationship has been rather sketchy and shaky. In the last couple of years, India has taken a tough stance on issues pertaining to trade after the former Trump administration doubled down on tariffs.
Yeah, so there you go. Wait, did you talk about the part of how he came out of the HAE or HJE?
What is that?
You don't know about that? Hawai Jahaj Ek. No, not talk about that?
No, I don't know about that.
He came out of the umbrella and everything, you know that?
Oh God.
So sweet.
And of course, in another topic that they discussed was immigration and H-1B. Every year, the lure of great American dream entices thousands of Indians, mostly IT professionals, who aspire for work visas like the H-1B. Hence, immigration is a huge part of the India-US ties. In 2020, Trump administration's move to impose a temporary suspension on H-1B visas amid the COVID-19 pandemic came as a body blow to Indian techies. This ban was revoked by the Biden administration earlier this year, and unlike his predecessor, Biden said that he is not as rigid on immigration. He, on the contrary, he plans to increase the number of highly skilled visas, including the H-1B. And they've actually, he's looking to push through immigration reform, which would allow those stuck in decades-long green card backlog to pay a supplemental fee of $5,000 and obtain permanent legal residence. So there is a plan B that is being eyed at this particular point, because Senate parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonnell ruled that the immigration reforms cannot be part of the reconciliation bill. So they're looking at a plan B for that. And of course, they want to do like a people-to-people connection.
Nice.
At nearly 4 million, Indian Americans form the second largest immigrant group in the United States and have always been relevant to its social architecture, both politically and culturally. The presence of Indian Americans in US politics got a major fillip after Kamala Harris became the vice president this year, the first Indian American woman to attain such a high rank in the Oval Office. In fact, the serving Biden administration has as many as 20 Indian Americans in important roles, including US Surgeon General Vivek Murthy and senior advisor to the president Neera Tanden. So Biden lightheartedly said that Indian Americans are taking over the country.
Lightheartedly.
Yeah, referring to the double people.
Some people listen to us sometimes feel like, oh, what? They get excited about it.
Yeah.
Lightheartedly. You think the white boss will let us take over? No, he's not.
Yeah, and it seems in Congress there is something called a Samosa Caucus.
No, I'm sure there is.
Which is basically Indian American.
And of course, the Pakistani caucus also wants to come and join because they also have samosas.
Yeah, exactly. So we all know, right? We know Ro Khanna, Ami Bera, Raja Krishnamurthy, Pramila Jayapal. They were all part of the Samosa.
Well, I know everybody. Faltani. Oh my God, Faltani. Sure, the pen. What's his name? Pen. The guy. What's his name? What is his name? Pen what? Pen Patel. No.
Who?
One guy is advisor for.
Carl Penn.
Carl Penn. Yes.
That was Obama administration.
Correct. I know all these guys.
Yeah.
No, they don't know me as a definition.
Well, and cooperation across multiple fields was another area that they discussed.
Very good.
That was pretty much the news that I had about India, and that's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Babe and Jan. We'll be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show for Ye Sham Mastani. Don't forget to tune in then. We'll see you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Tata.
Have a fantastic Friday. Bandajan, this is your darling Faltu Rani, and let me tell you, Bandajani, that all these beautiful tracks that you're listening to right now are special Dihari picks that we've hand-picked just for you. We'll see you in just a few. Keep listening.
Hi, this is Jamie.